Hi there, welcome back to my channel DPS Diary. This is Pranav, and very good morning, afternoon, or evening to you, depending on your location. I hope you are doing great. And today we'll cover backup and restoration. Okay, so as you know, I have covered this in my previous video, like one of the video, and it was in theory. So today, what we'll do is we'll go through database creation, like what are the prerequisites for database creation, like you need to have devices, data and log. Then we'll take full backup, we'll take cumulative backup, and we'll take like Tran backup, and we'll see how does it really work in the sequence and what all things you can do. And we will also cover point in time recovery. So this will be a full-fledged video for backup and restoration. Okay, only thing which I'm not covering, which comes to my mind, is compression and strike. Okay, that will have another video and we'll show you in that. But it's a small database that I'm going to create right now in front of you. Okay, we'll restore it on another database, and it will be on a sequential step, like we'll do first full, then we'll do cumulative, and once we are done with the cumulative, then we'll go with the like Tran backup. Okay, and at the end of the video, it will be like you can say point in time recovery. So I would request you to watch till the end. So thank you for tuning in, and so let's start. And before starting, I would like to request you, if you like my channel, please do like my videos. And if you want me to cover something which I have not covered yet, and you think that this is very much required and should be covered, please do let me know. And subscribe if you want to know about my upcoming videos. Okay, and if you want to encourage, if you want me to keep on doing these things, if you want to encourage me, then this will be helpful. Okay, so let's start. So the very first thing that I want you to cover is the database device creation, because you can't create a database without having device in place. Okay, now in terms of device, you need to have data device, you need to have log device. Okay, so let's start, and so let's be in the master database first of all. Okay, now let's start disk. Now if you see here, I am giving logical name and then physical name and the size of it, right? So size, I'm just giving 50 MB, okay, just minimal size, because I want to show you like how backup and restoration works. And also in next step, if you notice, this is for data and this is for the log. So if you notice here, both of the things are, both the physical files are on the same mount point. However, it is very much encouraged and it is very much strongly recommended that you need to have data and log on different mounts. It should not be on the same mount. Just for lab purpose, I am doing it here. Okay, so this is the log file creation. So I want to show you here on the server also. So this is the directory I have created, lab_test. It's in the temp mount. Okay, so if you would have noticed here, I have done it on the test devices in the device path. Okay, so let's see what all things are there. You can do that by lsltr, that will give you with the timestamp also. So let's go into devices. Okay, and if you notice, now you will see there are two files here, one is for data and one is for the log, right? Perfect. So far so good. Now so we are done with the device. Now what we'll do, we'll create one database, okay, which will have data on this, on the data that we have created, and the log, the one that we have just now created. Okay, so let's create database now. Okay, so database has been created. We can use the database so that we'll know the database is already there. Now we want to create one table, because we need to do backup, restoration, testing. So we will have to have some data so that we can test it, right? Right. So let's start and create a table here in the test DB backup. So create table, table is done. Now either you can select from here and see whether the table is created or no. So select star from test_backup, just for you to see the data, I mean the structure of table, because it will not contain anything right now. Just now we have created it, right? So let's go to the next step now, which is to insert some data into this. Okay, so let's create some data. Now This is just to see the data is inserted correctly, so we'll have one row, right? Okay, now we'll take full backup of this. So it is advisable to be in master database, because when we do restore, you should be in a different database and not the database which you are restoring, right? Because when you restore database, then you need to have exclusive access to that database. That is why it should be a good practice to be in master database when you perform backup and restoration. And even in terms of session, it will have less session to take backup. Okay, it's because the backup process takes considers all the things that is running right now. So it would be little bit faster if you are not in that database. So it is advisable to be in a different database, and it's good to have to be in the master database. It's much safer, right? Now I'm going to take the backup of the database, and I will store in the backup directory. So if you would have noticed, I was having two directories here, backup and device, as you can see here. Okay, so here now I will go into backup directory. Okay, now if I list things here, there is nothing right now in this path, right? Okay, so now what we'll do is, now we'll take the dump of the database. Okay, so let's take the dump of it. Dump is created. Okay, now we need to restore it, right? So when we have to restore it, I would prefer to have a new database or a different database for restoration. I don't want to use the same database, because we can refer back that what was there in the previous database and what is there in the new database, right, after restoration. So we need to create again device, okay, data and log device before having a new database. So let's create database now. Let's create device now. If you notice, it's actually in the same path. Okay, so let's go and check the devices. Okay, now you will see there are 4 devices, 4 files actually, 2 for data, 2 for log, 1 for backup database and 1 for restore database. Perfect, sounds good so far. Okay, now let's create database. Okay, so let's create database. You should be in actually in master database. I feel I should be in master. Yes, I am in master, but just good practice to follow this. Okay, so now you have this test TB restore as a new database, right? Okay, and it is having data of 50 MB and log of 30 MB. Okay, 50 MB and 30 MB. So now what we'll do is we'll load database. Okay, so let's load database from the backup, from the full backup that we have taken of test TB backup. Okay, if you see here, we are using exactly the same path and same file, test TB backup and test TB backup, and the same path, test temp lab test and backup. Okay, so now let's load the database in the test TB restore. So once you are done with the loading, then what should happen? You have to make it online first. Okay, this is as good as the recovery of SQL Server. Okay, once you are done with the online database command, then you should be able to see a new table called test_backup having 1 row, because this is what was backed up before, and we are having only 1 row when we took the backup. So let's do online database. Now let me show you. Now test db restore. Okay, and to start from test_backup. Okay, so let's see that. Yes, it contains 1 row. Okay, and it's a different database. It's not the database where we had done the creation of this table and where we did the insert, right? Okay, now we'll talk about the cumulative backup. So full backup is clear now. Full backup means it is something which contains everything whatever was existing at that point of time. Okay, but full backup always takes longer compared to other types of backup. Always, kind of always, you can say, because cumulative backup sometimes can take longer depending on how much data has been changed from last full backup. So if you don't take full backup again and you keep on taking cumulative backup, then yes, it will become larger and it will take longer. Okay, so now what we'll do, now we want to take cumulative backup, okay, and then we want to see how it goes. Okay, so as I said, it is good to be in master database before we do anything. Okay, so use master, go, okay, and you might say this is how we are going to take cumulative, because we just need to use keyword cumulative. Okay, yes, I did not insert any data, if you would have noticed, because I wanted to show you that when you take cumulative backup, you cannot take just like that. You need to have something enabled before performing cumulative backup. Okay, so what does it say? It says that you need to have allow incremental dump enabled. Unless you do that, you cannot do the cumulative backup. So let's be in the master database again. Okay, and then let us enable this allow incremental dumps. Okay, so once you do, it is asking you to perform checkpoint. Okay, so now let's be in the database and let's perform checkpoint. Okay, done. Now what we'll do, now we want to insert another row. Okay, let's insert another row in the test backup table. Okay, so now we have two rows, right? You want to cross check that. Let's do the cross check here. We are in the test DB backup, so it is supposed to have two rows, right? Perfect. So far so good, right? Now what we'll do, now we want to perform dump. We'll take full dump, okay, and then we'll take cumulative dump. Okay, so let's start and see how it is. So insert is done. Let's be in the master database. Okay, now let's take the dump, because you have to take the full dump once you have enabled cumulative backup. Okay, because if you do not take full backup, then it does not know from where to link back to, because at every full backup the cumulative flag gets reset. Okay, so as of now the cumulative dump is enabled after full backup was done. That is the reason we need to take full backup again. Okay, so let's take the dump of this. Done. Now we want to insert another row. Okay, because we are creating this video for YouTube, so I have put this YouTube, but we need to be in the database. We need to be in the test DB backup database. Okay, so that let me just write it here, test DB backup. I will copy the script and will keep it in the description of my video, so that you can copy them and you can follow along. Okay, so test DB backup. Now insert into test DB backup values. Okay, so now we want to see what all thing it contains, right? So let me write it better. So select star from test underscore backup. Okay, so it contains 3 rows right now. Sounds good so far. Okay, now we'll take the cumulative backup. So full backup we had 2 rows, okay, and then we did one more insert here. So until the last full backup, it was containing only 2 rows. Now after full backup was taken, then I have inserted one more row. So this cumulative backup is supposed to contain 3 rows in the table. So dump database cumulative, and now the cumulative one is taken. Now I want to show you one more thing. I will insert another row into this table. Okay, one more row. So now if you check the content of this table, it will have 4 rows, right? Now take another cumulative backup. First one was cumulative 1, okay, 11 September, right? And second one is cumulative 2. Okay, so now actually it contains how many rows? It contains 8, 9, 10 and 11. Up to 11 it contains. Okay, 11 September. So dump database cumulative, let us take this. So cumulative is done. So now if you just recall how it is going in the sequence, we took full backup after enabling cumulative dump, then we took cumulative 1. Before taking cumulative 1, we did insert of 1 row, and then we performed one row insert again, and then we took another cumulative backup. So now you have one full backup and two successive cumulative backups, right? So far so good. Okay, now we have to load that and see. So see how it works in terms of cumulative backup. You need to take the last cumulative backup, okay, that contains actually all the changes done from last full backup. Okay, so you don't need to go in the sequence. If you have taken cumulative 1 now, which is at 9 a.m. for example, second backup of cumulative you took at 11 a.m. and third you took at 1 p.m. So in case you have to perform the backup, you don't need to go for 9 and 11 a.m. cumulative backup. You can take the last full backup and the last cumulative backup, okay, for getting the point in time recovery. So let's start loading. So first we'll do is we'll take the full backup. As you know, all the base starts from full. Okay, so we are in the master. We should be in the master database. So let's be in the master database. Okay, now we'll load the database from full backup. Okay, so let me see what was the name before. Full.back, right? This is what we have taken here. So let's load the database with the full. Okay, now let's see. Now what we'll do is we'll load the database from cumulative 1. So once we do that, then it will not contain the row which we have done the insert after performing cumulative 1 backup, right? Let's do that. Cumulative 1 done. Now let's bring it online. TestDB restore. Okay, now let's use this TestDB restore and then perform select statement, and then it is not supposed to contain the row that we have done insert at the last stage, which was 11 September. Clear? Fine. So far so good. Now what we'll do, now I want to show you the second cumulative backup also. So let's be in the master database. Now let's do the TestDB restore again, starting from full. Okay, so let's load the database full. Done. Yes. Now let's load database from cumulative 2, not from cumulative 1. Okay, so after doing that, then you will have data which was inserted after performing cumulative 1 backup, all the data. Okay, it will not have any like missing row. Okay, so let's do online now. Online is done, and now if you go TestDB restore and perform this test backup, it will have all the rows. Fine. So far we have covered full backup, cumulative backup, and point in time recovery in the terms of that you need to have restoration from the last cumulative backup, not from the previous not from the previous cumulative backup. Now we'll cover Tran backup. Okay, so as we have done, so let's start again. So TestDB restore, this one I have already showed you. Now let's be in the TestDB backup again. Okay, let's perform another insert into this table. Okay, so we were having how many rows? Four rows, I think, right? So now this will be inserting 5th row. We are in that database. Now let's perform insert. Actually, if you notice, I have also showed you how to insert a row or data which is having single quotes. Okay, you just need to put double quote here. Now what we'll do, we'll perform dump Tran. Okay, so we have done the backup of full 2 cumulative backup, and now we are going to perform dump Tran after performing the insert. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's be in the master database. Okay, load database again, starting from full. This is our base. Okay, now load database again, cumulative from cumulative 2, the same thing that we have done last time, right? And now let's do the restore of Tran backup. Sorry, it is Tran 1.back, because here we have taken Tran 1, right? So let's do this Tran 1, and this is done. Now let's do the online database. Done. Now let's use the database. Okay, and now let's see the value of this, and you have 5 rows available here. So we have done full, cumulative and Tran, right? So this is all about the backup, but we want to cover one more thing, which is point in time recovery. Okay, which is point in time recovery. So this is very much useful in production environment. In case somebody comes to you from development team or from application team running to you that accidentally they have performed some delete or insert and they need to have this restored somewhere else, and so that they can do the manipulation, and then whatever damage they have done they can fix it, right? So let's start again. So let's be in the backup database again. So use test underscore db underscore backup. Okay. Now insert into this table again. So one more row is inserted. Okay. Now let's see the date here. Okay. And copy it. Okay. So this is the time that we have captured after performing the insert. Okay. Now what we'll do, now we'll just wait for a few seconds. Okay, then we'll perform another insert. Okay, so before that let me show you that insert is successful or no. We should be in the backup database. You can see the insert is successful because we have done point in time recovery. Okay, clear? Fine. So now select get date. So it was 12:31 and now it has become 12:32. Okay, let me see that again. Yes, perfect. So now we have passed the time. Now let's just this wait was only to show you that it should not be within that minute. Okay, now it's 12:32. Now perform the another test backup value insert, which is having no point in time recovery. Okay, I think I have made some sorry, 1025 12 September. Let's make like 2026 better. Okay, so now if you see, now we have one more row here, no point in time recovery. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to perform, now this is something accidental insert. Okay, we want to restore database before this insert. Okay, so what we'll do, now we will take this dump. Okay, so actually this will contain, we should be in master database. It is, as I said, it is good practice to be in the database. Okay, now we'll perform dump, which is, I think I have used this file name here, so I should use a Tran1 here, so I should use a different file name, otherwise this will be creating some issues. Okay, so dump Tran this. Okay, now actually this dump will contain both the inserts, right? Now we want to, this is just to show that what all databases are there which you have done the creation today, which is created today, and then before performing any restoration of database, you need to ensure that it is not being accessed by any other user. So this command sys processes will help you in finding out all the running sessions. Okay, so let's do this. Now we will perform the backup and restoration for test DB restore from the beginning. Okay, so full backup restoration, full is done. Okay, now we will do this cumulative backup restoration, cumulative 2, not the 1. Okay, now load Tran, this will actually be the first one, right? So Tran, it was Tran1, I think, Tran1. Okay, and now you see here, this is where we'll do point in time recovery. So what we'll do, we'll copy that time, date and time here. Okay, load Tran, okay, from this file, and then we'll use a command with until underscore time. Okay, so test tb, that is done. Tran1, I think it is Tran2 dot backup. I need to change this. Okay, so let's see, this works for us. Okay, so now if we make the database online, okay, so now what will happen, this is not supposed to contain the last row. Let's see. Yes, what happened, test tb backup, I am in online database, test tb restore. I think I did this. September 6, 12:31. Cumulative 2. Tran, let me just see this here. CD. So full 1, cumulative 1, Tran 1 and Tran 2. Okay, so let us see here what we have done. Full, the backup that we have performed is load database including Tran backup. So this one we have done, full, cumulative and Tran 1. So it should be Tran 1 and then Tran 2. So full, cumulative, Tran 1 and then Tran 2. So full, then we'll do cumulative 2, then we'll do Tran 1 because we have performed Tran 1 here. Dump Tran and dump Tran 2, right? So we will do Tran 1 and then we'll do one more. So this one is done already. Now test tb restore from Tran 1. Okay, and then test tb restore from this test tb Tran 2 dot backup. So this one looks fine. Now this one is fine. So test tb restore. I think I again missed something here. Point in time, test backup. Let me just see in the test tb backup database. Let's see the test tb backup database again one more time. Test tb backup, and then select star from test underscore backup. So this contains actually everything. So it seems dump database, dump Tran, use test tb backup, insert into this, and then values. So we have performed this dump Tran, right? Yes. Full dot back or full 1 dot back? 1 second. Full dot back, and then what is full 1? Full. So full 1, and where is the full 1 coming from? Okay, full, yeah, it's full 1. 21 to Tran 1, Tran 2, 12:30, 12:34. For 1234 we are having this 1231. So this is 1230. It should be 1230. So let's do this. Let's do load database. Okay, and let's see whether it contains the row or no. Full. Okay, then let's do this cumulative 2, and let's do this Tran. Okay, Tran 1, and let's do this complete Tran 2 and see whether it contains this row or no. It's supposed to contain. So now online database this, and test DB restore, and select this. Should contain everything: point in time recovery, no point in time recovery. Okay, so that means the time that we have is not correct here. So what we'll do, we'll again try here 1231. I think it was 12. Where did I take that? 1232, and it was 1231, right? 1231, yeah, but somehow it seems it's not matching with that. So let's take 1230. No, actually it's my mistake. See, we need to take, if you take Tran 1 backup, okay, so Tran 1 is actually before this, right? And Tran 2, now in this Tran 2 we want to take before this, right? So this insert was done at 1231, before 1231. So we need to have this 1230, this Tran 2 backup, okay, and 1232. Let's just say this. Okay, so let's again perform restoration. Full is done, cumulative. Okay, so Tran 1 and then 1232 for example. Okay, online database, and let's see. Okay, so the time that we had taken before was not actually matching with that. I think it was 1231 something. It's not really, maybe there is some gap in the time. So you see, it could be a bit struggling sometime. Okay, so this, if you see, I'll just show you one more thing. So now we have point in time recovery, and if you notice, before I did the restoration and I also showed you no point in time recovery. So in case we have to do the restoration of database, okay, with timestamp, then it needs to be a bit trickier. You need to know exact timestamp. Okay, so generally what happens is they say it is around that time. So then you need to take this all step in test environment just to find out what was the exact time. Okay, so sometime it could be a bit challenging to find that out. Okay, but we managed to do that. So now in this video, if you see, I have covered point in time recovery, and I also showed if you do not specify timestamp, it will take the full recovery. Okay, so we have covered full, cumulative, like multiple cumulative backups, and Tran backup. Okay, and at the end of the video we covered point in time recovery. So I hope you like this video. It was a bit of challenging thing in between, because this timestamp was not actually matching, but it will not happen in your server, on your production server, or where it's working on your thing. I seem to be having some issue in time gap. Okay, so otherwise it's all fine. Okay, it worked as it was intended to. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and if you like this video and previous ones, then please do like, comment and subscribe. So thanks a lot. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.